8:25 p.m. on the...
An inmate at the Salinas Valley State Prison, Soledad, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now. Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Hello.
Hey, Free, I'm in a bad reception area. I can hear you good. I hope you can hear me. And I did talk to Gail, and she's absolutely fine. She just couldn't get to the phone at the times you called.
Okay, thank you for that. And I just talked to her about 15, 20 minutes ago, and you're coming through just fine, just loud and clear.
Great.
Are you able to deal with like your normal thing of recording this and all that?
Yes, I'm in a truck with a friend, and you're coming through good, and the acoustics are good. Yes.
Okay, so I want to talk about this Kevin Cooper matter with Governor Brown ordering the DNA test, and I know that I'm not on the list for the people he pardoned and commuted and all that stuff. There's a list out there that another friend of mine, a Christian friend, Larry Ernst, had gotten and told Ken Lassat I'm not on the list. I haven't seen it. I would like to get a copy of the list, but I don't know if you can get just the names and a little tiny bit of information. Otherwise, it's going to be too extensive for anybody to send me. But in any case, I've got a limited amount of time here, probably 5 to 8 minutes of that, and I want to talk about this Kevin Cooper thing because I'm concerned that, my case is being overlooked when his case had so much evidence against him that showed that he's guilty. And that doesn't mean he is, because they apparently did a lot of bad things with evidence tampering. Or maybe they did. And that's the difference is there's so many maybes in this case of his, where mine are absolute definite, and every single piece of evidence that was used to convict me, that had any significance at all in the trial, every single piece I've now proven they falsified in some way, manufactured out of thin air, planted or altered in some way, destroyed if it was in my favor, and yet he ignores my case over and over again for years on end. So I'm concerned about several things. One is, if it's because mine was a self-defense case where shooting happened and Governor Brown is probably very anti-Second Amendment. Other thing is this race, because first of all, let me say I'm very sympathetic to black people having been probably singled out and screwed really badly as a general thing for decades with the drug wars and all that stuff. I've read Michelle Alexander's book called The New Jim Crow. It's excellently researched, in my opinion, and it's got some powerful information that shows how blacks as a race have been targeted really badly. So I want to start out by saying I'm very sympathetic to that situation, and I recognize it. But on the other hand, what's happened is kind of a reverse backlash, like an overkill, where I think some of us who are of the white race and maybe some of the other races are not getting our due because there's so much focus on going overboard to make sure that the blacks get taken care of for things where they don't have it coming as much as a white guy or somebody of another race. So I believe that that's happened in this case to a large degree as well, and I believe it's happened in my case in general for many years. So I want to put that out there first, and then I want to go through some of the specifics. In the opening of this, right under the main heading, it says there are colorable factual questions raised. Colorable factual questions compared to, in my case, absolute 100% proof that these cops framed me by falsifying evidence, and yet I get nothing, and this guy gets DNA testing, which has been done at least 2 times previously, and now he wants it at least a 3rd time. So, and his death row sentence is no worse than my death row sentence, because I've been on a death row this whole 36 years. They can't give me any of that back. It's dead. And all the things attached to it, all the ramifications from it are dead and gone. They can never be resurrected in this life. And so I'm just as dead and just as much on death row as he is. And in fact, in some ways worse, because they get so much attention and so much relief and so many shots at making sure their conviction's valid, where I don't get any, just because I'm not on a quote-unquote death penalty sentence. So I want to go through, let me just go through I just have highlights and underlining, and I'm going to have to cut this off before we get too far. Kamala Harris, who is going to be running for president, or already is running for president in the next election, was mentioned in here. Now, she's behind giving him Okay. Well, you know what? I've got to go. They're already recalling everybody right now. So are you? What? Oh, okay. Oh, you're signed on? All right. This guy's signed up calls here, so I got to go.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll pick up there with next time around. Thank you for taking the call, and my apologies.
No problem. Free. You.
Okay.
God bless you, Free.
All right. You take care.
Okay.
You take care. Thanks for being there. Bye.
Okay. Bye.